I mean, she's not wrong. Oh my goodness. So there is a clip that has gone viral thanks to Candace Owens, all right? It's a clip of her show in which she's talking about the sacred cow. And we all know what the sacred cow is. It starts with the H and ends with the T. That is correct. The Holocaust. That is correct. The sacred cow. You don't touch it. You don't talk about it. You don't have any questions. You don't touch it at all. It is what it is. Whatever they say goes. Simple as that. Candace Owens, all right, has come out and said, you know what? That the Holocaust is not really that sacred. As a matter of fact, it's not the great evil that people claim it is, right? The great evil, it's the great evil. That's not true, factually and statistically.
In this case, is Germany, Nazi, Hitler, the greatest evil that's ever happened on Earth, even though factually and statistically it is not.
Then she goes on to question some of the experiments that were done, talking about, hey, you know what? Why are they cutting people in half, okay? It doesn't make sense. It's just so time consuming. You're gonna tell me you're gonna cut someone in half and then sew them back together again? Like, why do that? That's a waste of time.
Candace, come on, that's the difference. They experimented on twins. I mean, some of the stories, by the way, sound completely absurd. I feel like the idea that they just like cut a human up and then sewed them back together. Why would you do that? Literally, even if you're the most evil person in the world, that's a tremendous waste of time and supplies.
And I love it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm loving every second of this. Loving every freaking second of this, okay? Because I want you to understand, all these conservative Jews, the Ben Shapiro, were they the ones that were upset when she was talking about police brutality as a myth, it doesn't exist? Were they upset when she actually, matter of fact, the conservative Jews, Ben Shapiro, they funded her faux documentary on George Floyd. They funded anti-black hatred. They funded, that is called racism, okay? Group effort to attack a single group of people, black Americans. They funded that propagandist piece of drivel, all right? They want to turn around and clutch their pearls. They want to turn around and call her an anti-Semite. Anti-Semite! I'm sorry. That's not working here. I'm sorry, it's not working here. I mean, I despise her with a passion, okay, due to the litany of stuff she said, okay, just her two-facedness. And I warned people about this a long time ago. I was like, listen, I can see the writing on the wall. I've talked to her on several accounts. Personally, I'm a pretty good judge of character, and she's a POS. Nevertheless, Ben Shapiro didn't mind when she was spewing all this anti-black hatred. PragerU, another conservative Jew, didn't mind when they were paying her to spew all this black hatred. Oh, BLM, blah, 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 blah. Now, all of a sudden, she turns the reticle on them. Now, all of a sudden, well, you're fired. Now, I don't know what happened to her. What happened to her? All the comments of the conservative Jews. Oh, what happened to her? Oh, my God. I missed her and she's talking about the vaccine. I don't know what happened. They always do that, right? That's what I'm talking about. They always do that when you do not tap and dance, when you do not follow their script. The moment you go off of their script, then they feign ignorance. I don't know what happened to her. She just, the same thing. When I called them out on their hypocrisy, right? Like, yo, this isn't conservatism. This is anti-black racism. That's what it is. What happened to you? What happened? What, like, you went lefty? Because the fact that they associate you calling out anti-black racism, which is what they are very much promoting on the Republican Party, that makes you a lefty. Crazy, crazy flex. I don't think you get to cry. All that time of crying and whining and no, you didn't shed not one tear when you were employing this wicked witch to spew and disseminate hatred, lies, and propaganda against black Americans. You didn't have any problem, okay? Any problem. Now, all of a sudden, she's attacking, actually, matter of fact, she's truthful in this. I hate to say it, but she is factually truthful. That the Holocaust isn't the great evil, okay? The great evil was, in fact, chattel slavery here in the United States, to which we are still suffering from. There are no Jews going through a Holocaust right now. It's not happening, okay? Matter of fact, some are arguing that they are the ones that are creating one right now in Gaza. But that's neither here nor there. The fact of the matter is that that's not the great evil. The great evil is actually chattel slavery that happened to black Americans. That's the great evil. They want to talk about their millions lost. We have doubled, since tripled the loss of lives. So you can miss me with that nonsense, but I find it funny how they make these certain themes, right? There's certain themes in the history books, certain themes, certain terms that they coined, the great evil. Can you imagine like the audacity to call something a great evil when by any stretch of the imagination here in this country, it doesn't even compare? Doesn't even compare at all. What was happening to black Americans, what happened to Jewish people, night and day. Now, yes, what happened to them was vicious and horrible, but what happened to us and what's continuing and still happening to us, what they are actually responsible for, I want you to be clear, they are responsible for what is happening to us here in this country. As far as when you look at the media, when you look at the outlets that promote this anti-black image, they are the ones behind that. They're the ones behind that. So it seems they used all the evil that was done to them during the Holocaust and whatnot, and they were taking note so they can employ it and utilize it against black Americans. And I think that's an ultimate wicked. Okay, I understand hurt people. I get that. But we haven't done anything to y'all. Not a damn thing. We were actually helping y'all escape during the Holocaust. We've been allies since you all got here. And we see how that's turned out for us. So I just want to be clear. I have no qualms about what she's saying. And to put the cherry on top of the sundae, as a matter of fact, she used the same principle, the same tactic, the same Jedi magic that they taught her all these years, and she's now using it against them. Remember when Candace Owens would say, you know what, black people own slaves, right? Black people own slaves, okay? Slavery was everywhere. It was happening everywhere. Now, when we say, hey, you're trying to dilute the impact that slavery had here on black Americans, you're trying to undermine the significance and the actual cruelty that happened here. And when they say, no, that's not what we're saying. We're just saying everyone's a slave. We're just stating facts. Now, she used that same Jedi mind trick that they gave her, that they trained her to use against black people. Now she's using it against them by saying, hey, matter of fact, the Jews weren't really... It was bad what happened to them, but there's a greater problem what happened, and that was to the German people after the war.
And part of that learning process for me when I started looking into it was coming across a huge fact that we ethnically, the Allies, ethnically cleansed 12 million Germans.
He's out of line, but he's right.
Now, I think that is delicious. Absolutely freaking delicious, okay? Because it's the same thing that Matt Walsh, that clown, wants to say about the Barbary slave trade. Oh, white people were actually slaves, okay? There was horrible things that happened to white people. Okay, great, awesome. Now she's using all the Jedi mind tricks you gave her, you trained her to use against black people. She's now using on Jewish people and really picking them apart, saying that, hey, y'all want to talk about how horrible the Holocaust was, but nobody wants to talk about what happened after and how the German people were actually victims. Woo! They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that. And then you have a fool like Dennis Prager, that anti-black racist, talking about, well, the reason why we're different from black people is we're not victims.
What values and principles helped Jews pretty much own Hollywood, do well in business, do well in life?
Oh, I'll tell you, I have the answer
Go
for
for
you.
it, yeah.
They didn't see themselves as victims. It is the most paralyzing thing in black life, what the left is doing to blacks.
What? Can you imagine Prager, okay, this anti-black racist conservative Jew talking about we don't remain victims and that's why we different from black people. Man, they have grown so accustomed to farting and having everyone say, delicious. Please, might I have some more? Okay? They got Netanyahu freaking strangling Trump. Okay? He may be slapping Biden, but he is strangling Trump. They've gotten so accustomed to everyone saying, okay, yes, sir, absolutely. Oh, yeah, absolutely. But when it comes to slavery, they want to constantly ask questions. They want to employ people to ask questions because questions aren't racist. I'm just asking questions, right? Well, I mean, how many slaves were there actually? I mean, how many white people actually did have slaves? I mean, when did slavery actually, begin? I mean, who actually brought it up? Was it the Africans who were doing it? All those questions. But when it comes to their beloved Holocaust, nobody can ask questions. Because if you ask questions, that is anti-Semitism. Even thinking about anything other than the narrative they've given you is anti-Semitism. So I think she's doing an absolutely fantastic job with her cooning training that she received and using it against them. She's just simply asking the same questions that they allowed her and employed her and promoted her to do a black history. Now they do it, she's doing it of their history. And they don't happen to like it. Oh, you don't happen to like it? You don't happen to like it. Well, maybe that should be a lesson to all you as far as conservative Jews who employ these Sambos who speak as far as negatively and disparagingly about black Americans, okay? Maybe that should be a lesson to you for you absolutely hiring anti-black racists. Maybe that should be a lesson to you, okay? Because I see you want to label her anti-Semite and everything else, but I haven't yet to hear anyone call her a liar. Okay, I have yet to hear anyone call her a liar, so I want you to think about that. Anyways, guys, that's the video. There is no either or, okay? There is no either or. I don't want to hear any anti-Semitism or anti-Semitic, because if you look into the word, I won't even get into that, okay? I don't want to hear any of that, because you allow one thing, but then don't allow another. No, that hypocrisy is going to end, and I'm glad she's doing this. I don't like her, but I'm glad she's using her coon tactics against the actual enemy. Okay? Good. Attack Ben Shapiro 100%, not physically, but verbally call them out on their hypocrisy, on their nonsense. Anyways, if you happen to disagree, you know where to find me. Friday through Sunday, Disagreement Day. Call in. We'll talk it out. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment. Let me know what you guys think about this situation, this debacle. And subscribe and that fun stuff. Till next time, guys, be amazing.
They didn't see themselves as victims.